Okay, my first guest is a close friend, a very, very funny man. I've been a fan of Joey's for many, many years, and if memory serves me correctly, he's made a number of appearances on this show. In addition to being here, he will appear on Chico and the Man tomorrow night. That's interesting because we have Freddie Prinze later. Would you welcome Mr. Joey Bishop?
Well, this is one of the most exciting nights of my life. I'm finally getting to meet him. You son of a gun. Finally.
After all of these times.
Listen, first of all, I want to thank you very, very much because you're a very, very gracious person. Each time I pinch it for you,
Right.
You never failed the next night when you returned to thank me.
That's true, I think.
I may have done it 150, 200 times.
Right.
You always thank my friend. Except one night, I have the date here. July the 11th, 1970. It was a Tuesday. I pinched it on a Monday.
Yeah.
You came back, and you didn't thank me. And I've been watching the show now for 5.5 years, hoping. And I thought maybe this would be a heck of a good time for you to thank me for pinch hitting for you in 1970. Then you won't be obligated.
I want to thank Joey Bishop for doing a great job on the show. What was the name?
Wait a minute. I wasn't pinch hitting for you. I was pinch hitting for somebody who was pinch hitting for you.
Well, I want to thank Joey, who was substituting for the guest host.
Right.
Who was released on March 3rd, 1978. How are you, anyway?
I'm fine. How
Good
you
to see
feel?
you.
Good to see you, too.
You're doing Chico and the Man tomorrow night?
I did it. And,
Yeah, that's that
right.
film,
And
of
it's
course, your tape.
a delightful show to do.
Did you play you? Or did you?
I didn't play myself. I played a guy named Charlie, who was an insult comic, a la Rickles, but couldn't make enough money to pay for the hospital bills
That he got from...
insulting people. So I become a crook. And Chico convinces Ed, the old man, to keep the garage open all night. And the first night they're open, I rob him.
You know, having seen you work and knowing the way you work, you're basically a reaction comedian. You play off of things. And yet, although you've done tape shows or film shows, don't you find that format sometimes where you're working on film a little confining? Don't you kind of like a freewheel? I know I do. You can get up and you work an audience and you stop and you go over here. But when you get locked into the script, you got to do it.
I think this type of show, unfortunately, you're healthy all the time, but this type of show, I think, is the easiest. I don't mean as far as talent, because I do. They interviewed me. I don't know whether you saw it or not. They interviewed quite a few of us. And I told them what I thought of your talents. And I think a lot of guys can do this for a year or two. I almost lasted a month. Can do it for a year or two, but you've been on for so many years. It really amazes me how you are still able to come out there, really, and do it. And I think it's a tribute to your talent.
Well, I think you don't have to say that. Now, let's see. Now, I say something nice about Joey, and then you say something nice. No, you didn't have to say that. You know that, because I get a little embarrassed when people say that, but I know you mean it.
I do.
And I thank you.
I mean it. It's just myself respecting the talents of a great, great talent.
I got out of the car today, and I was in the parking lot. You happened to be out there, and I was smoking a cigarette. And I looked at you, and I was envious for a moment, because you used to be one of the great smokers of all time.
5 packs a day.
5 packs a day?
I used to smoke a pack during a 90-minute show.
Well,
That's a fact.
I've never done that.
I'm not lying. And it's been about 8 years, and people say, do I miss it? You know. Once in a while, I find myself striking a match and lighting my nose. I have a friend of mine who's really a fiend.
5
and that's
packs a day.
5 packs. If I tell you the brand, then you'll go, wow.
No, don't.
You know, because it's a strong brand. Now, some people, forgive me, but some people smoke after sex. I got a friend who smokes during sex. You will not believe where he puts his ashes.
That is called savoir-faire. You can pull that off. So 5 packs a day. What happened? Now, you may have discussed this before, and without preaching, because as you know, there's nothing worse than a reformed smoker or drinker who now patronizes and says it's a terrible thing, which it probably is. Why did you decide to do it?
Okay, it was November of '68, I was going to Vietnam.
Right.
And I decided for the 3 weeks that I was going to be over there, I wasn't going to smoke. So I boarded the plane. We left Seattle. I boarded the plane, threw away the cigarette, and didn't smoke for the 3 weeks that I was over in Vietnam. I never felt like smoking again.
That's
never.
incredible.
I did have one substitute. They had a cigarette come out with lettuce leaves. I don't know if it's familiar.
I remember
tar,
that.
no
I remember
nicotine,
that.
and you can smoke it, and it's terrific.
I find it very difficult.
To give up?
Yes.
Well, I gained 35 pounds when I quit smoking.
That's compensating, isn't it, for
While I was eating, I was thinking of what to eat. I swear to you. I was eating a roast beef sandwich. I said, when I finish this, I think I'll have a hamburger. I just never.
But you got rid of that. You got rid of the weight.
Then I went on a diet. I became very, very conscious of diets.
Do you feel better? Is everything better? Is your sex life better?
Way. I would change places with you in a minute. No. Is my what life better?
Is your sex life better? I hear that all the time. They say you quit smoking, your sex life improves.
I knew I had a reason for quit smoking. No, I don't. Improved?
Well, I mean...
That's assuming that I wasn't doing too well in the first place.
No, I didn't mean that you weren't a hit.
Oh.
You have more energy. You have greater desire.
I have a greater desire, but I don't think I have the energy.
I knew there was a hook in this whole thing. We got to take a break. We're coming right back. We're talking with George Bishop. We have Freddie Prinze with us, Betty Garrett, and Ray Johnson. We're talking about the joys of not smoking, but first not joys because you gained 35 pounds.
Right.
Do you have to keep on a diet forever after you quit smoking?
Well, unfortunately, I have since encountered ill health, so I'm on a very strict diet to begin with. And I'm thankful to God, because of what I have now, that I had stopped smoking when I did. But I was never heavy except for the time I gained weight. But I always watch my weight. They have diets that can drive you nuts.
The organic foods, the health foods.
A guy, he's on a prune diet. I don't know who he is, but I know where you can find him.
I had to ask. When are you going to Vegas?
I open Vegas Thursday. And each time I go there, I follow Buddy Hackett.
He's up there now with Sammy Kahn, I believe.
Have you ever seen Buddy Hackett? You've seen him. Have you ever seen him work?
Yes. Yes.
I was there the last time I followed him in on his closing night. I sat behind two nuns who must have gotten in there by mistake.
Oh.
He was on 5 minutes, and one nun said to the other, "Let's get the hell out of here."
Or words to that effect.
Yeah. He is, and I have the lovely Teresa Brewer on show, co-starring with me.
Yeah, she's a doll.
Yes.
She never ages, that lady.
No.
You know, from the time she started, she's still got that little teeny voice.
Yeah.
And still is like a teenager. So you work up there 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Unless you heard something, John.
No. Are you going to come back and do television? I hear rumors, but you know this town is based on rumors that everybody's going to do a show, and you're thinking...
I'm involved in something I've written. I haven't submitted it yet, but I think it's going to be exciting. Now, you've seen celebrity tennis, right?
Right.
Celebrity golf, celebrity bowling. I'm going to host a show called Celebrity Sex. Two well-known couples. One couple gets shot out of a cannon into a nearby motel. And what they do in midair, that's their business. It's a very, I'm kind of excited about it.
The slow motion replay will be the clincher.
Oh, gosh.
And in slow-mo. What would you've been watching the television season, and we've kidded it, because even though it's our medium, why you can kid television. It's not been the most electrifying season that's come down the pike.
Right.
You watch a lot of it?
I think I'm as avid a TV fan as...
I do, because it's our business, and I like to know what's going on.
I watch it all the time. I would like to see, for example, certain things, when I see them, I question them. I would like to meet Mrs. Olson's husband and find out what he thinks about her coffee. You know, little things like that. Like to see Lassie stop at a tree once.
Never see that.
I would like to see Muhammad Ali squeeze Mr. Whipple. Little things like that I get.
You brought up Mrs. Olson. Now, this is just, there's no joke, but it's interesting. She wrote me a very nice letter once because we've done jokes about her, and she's a lovely actress. And I forget her name. Virginia?
She's a beautiful.
Excuse me?
No, not Graham.
Excuse me, I didn't hear her last name.
Field.
No, it's not. She's married to Fritz Feld.
That's right.
Right, she's a beautiful.
F-E-L-D. You don't remember Fritz Feld?
Sure.
Who always went around and played the head waiter, the little fellow with the... Yeah, she's a lovely lady. She's married to him. I don't know why I brought that up.
You know who I really feel sorry for? I know it's going to sound stupid. The Tidy Bowl man. Now, but we never analyzed this, but you see the commercial, right? You just see a guy in a boat and a toilet tank, right? But chances are this guy studied dramatics. You know, he came out to California. Now, can you imagine...
Get into show business?
Right, he's gonna... Can you imagine the very first time he's in that tank, a neighbor sees it and runs into his mother's house and says, Mr. Schwartz, I just saw your son on TV. And the mother says, doing what? He says, well, he's in a bowl. You mean like football? No. I don't know how to tell you this, but he's floating around in the tank of a toilet. And the mother said that some career, one flush, it's all over. Things like that make you kind of wonder. I don't know why that stuff goes on.
I feel sorry for the guy who writes on his nose. It's the same thing. Who runs around now with a crayon and writes on his nose.
He starts up here at the forehead.
Starts up here and tears these things off, and he's got numbers on his nose. And he wanted to be in show business, and that's what he's doing now. Somebody else did a routine once, some young comedian on the show. And it's true. The guy you really feel sorry for is that skier on the Wide World of Sports every week.
Yeah.
Who 3 years later, every week, you know, he's made 1,000 jumps, beautiful,
right.
Probably 100 meters. But what do they show week after week? The agony of, and this poor guy comes over and breaks every bone in his body for the 1,000th
Actually,
time.
he just won an award for skiing the longest on his behind than anybody else.
I got a 5.6. Yeah. Do you do when you talk? Do you get involved politically at all? Do you talk about what's going on?
I used to get involved politically. I think the last time I was actively involved, I did the inaugural for John F. Kennedy.
Right.
And I'm a little worried now. I mean, when I hear President Ford say he's thinking of going to West Germany to talk to the Kaiser, I'm a little worried. Then they say, can Ronald Reagan, you know, an actor, make a good president? He's not an actor.
No.
And he's got about 40 movies that can prove it.
Don't mention Bonzo Goes to College. Because Freddie DeCordova directed Bonzo Goes to College.
Oh, yes.
Producer of our show. And 2 Bonzo pictures you did, right?
Yes. And there was talk of a third.
There was talk of a third, and Bonzo said, enough is enough. Bonzo's agent came in. It was
I don't like to really get involved in politics. I don't know whether. Some people think it's right for a public figure, but I think you carry a lot of weight, for example, and I think people unquestioningly, if you said endorse somebody...
I don't. I try to stay apolitical.
However, in my heart, I feel that if our country is jeopardized, and it's not political as far as candidates, then I have a right to speak out.
Sure.
I think like we're concerned about Russia, Red China. I think the country we really have to look out for is Switzerland. Do you see the reaction I got now?
Right away.
That's the same reaction I got in 1951 when I warned them about Holland. No. According to statistics, there are 26,000 Swiss people in this country.
Right.
Now, answer me honestly.
Right.
Have you ever met a Swiss?
Come to think of it.
26,000 of them hiding out somewhere, right? Am I right?
You got a point there.
They have their Independence Day August the 1st. That's when they celebrate their independence.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I mean, let's analyze it. While we're on vacation, they're celebrating. You know, a little thought. Just want to drop a little hint there. Population of 6 million, and they export 55 million clocks and watches. Why? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, for example, and they have like little things that are subliminal. You know, like the cuckoo clock. Well, you hear cuckoo, right? You know what cuckoo means in Swiss? Blow it out.
Check on that.
Well, don't have to check on it. I wouldn't come here without facts. Now, our national flower in this country is the rose. You know what the national flower is? You know what their favorite dish is?
No, what's the favorite dish?
Fondue. Okay, think it over for just a second. Their national flower is the Edelweiss.
The Edelweiss.
Now, I tell you this because if they should ever take over, on New Year's Day, we'll be watching our television sets, we'll be watching the Edelweiss Bowl. Just little, I'm only trying to help my country.
And that whole parade with all those floats, be all Edelweiss.
All Edelweiss.
That's
You wanted me to get involved? I didn't want to get involved.
You wouldn't lie to us. You came here with the facts on this.
John, when I come out here, you remember one thing. I'll learn you. No, I never come out and make up things like this. These are absolute facts.
Well, that'll give us something to think about.
Switzerland.
Just Switzerland.
Think about it.
Remember, he warned you. Take a break. We'll be right back after this. The Edelweiss. I didn't know that. Before I bring out Freddie, I did not know. I guess I knew, but we've known each other for what, 15 or 20 years?
I did. I pinched it for you when you were doing Who Do You Trust?
That's right, and that's a few years ago. And
That's right.
It doesn't seem right to sit here and say you're a grandfather now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like that idea?
Yes. Yeah. Not too crazy about the fact I'm sleeping with a grandmother.
Yeah, that's what I... Psychologically. How's the grandchild?
He'll be 5 months old tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Oh, man.
And when I walk in the house and I hear, blip, 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 that's my son. Then I talk to the kid. No, I'll tell you, if there are any grandparents out there, then you know. And I know I sound corny, and I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but it's the life, because when it's your own kid, when you play with him, you still have to father him, right? When it's your grandkid, as soon as you stop being playful, here's your kid. My biggest thrill is when I walk into that house, and I pick that kid up, and he looks in my eyes, and he spits on me. And I realize that I paid for everything he's got. No, it's, honestly, are you a grandfather?
That's what? Am I a grandfather? Not that I know of. I've got three boys, but they're not married yet.
Oh.
No, they have not informed me. You know, the funny thing about as soon as somebody says there's a grandparent, the audience dutifully kind of goes like this. Yeah. Like you've just accomplished something wonderful. You had nothing to do with becoming a grandparent.
Well, you talk about my kid knew nothing about sex. I told him.
Never thought of that.
Of course, for heaven's sake. He thought he was supposed to carry.
My next guest will be working with you tomorrow night, or has worked with you tomorrow night. As you know, he's one of the co-stars at his tender age of 22 of Chico and the Man, which is on NBC's Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. And on March the 2nd, Freddie will be at the Mill Run Theater in Chicago. And starting the 26th of March, he and Jack Albertson will be at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. Would you welcome Freddie Prinze?
Looking good. Thank you. I just came back from New York. I was there to visit all the Puerto Ricans. They had the Puerto Rican Day Parade. There was 500 cars going down separate streets, stalling out simultaneously. All Chevys, right? I drive a Chevy. I drive a Corvette. So I'm one of these crazy drivers, you know, like 90 miles an hour. I have a statue of the Virgin Mary on my dashboard. Whenever I drive, she goes, ah! Because I'm a male under 25. My insurance is $1,000 a year. You know, but if I was a female under 25, it'd be $500. I called the insurance company, right? I said, well, this isn't fair. They said, all right, we'll compromise. We'll make it $650, but whenever you drive, you have to wear a dress. That's right. I saw a cute guy the other day, too. Did you see the Olympics? The Olympics were good, but there was no black people in the Olympics. Well, it's very hard to go down a ski slope at 90 miles an hour dribbling a basketball. The Puerto Ricans would have loved the Olympics, right? Great, go down the 90-mile-an-hour purse snatch. Bye, lady. They talk about all ethnic groups, though. It's like Germans. Did you ever notice? Germans are great people, right? The French love them. They have them for house guests every 25 years. But Germans cannot whisper. They just don't know how. God bless them. They try to whisper, but they can't whisper. You ever see them try? They go, psst, that guy's queer. That's why they lost the war, you know. Tomorrow we attack Leningrad. Russians going 8 o'clock, thank you. And like, you know, you take something simple like asking the time. You go down south, you know, excuse me, do you know what time it is? Well, sure as hell do. Hold on there. It's 3:30 or 9. In there somewhere. You know, yes, a black dude in L.A. Do you know what time it is? Do I look like Big Ben to you, sucker? Ask one of my people, you know what time it is? Do you want to buy a watch, man? So much is going on now. Now, the bicentennial is real big, you know. Bicentennial, now they're doing all these things, pictures of George Washington all over the place, you know. Few people know George Washington smoked grass. This is true. He had a plantation in Virginia. The main crop was hemp. I think we all know now that he smoked the cherry tree, right? I mean, who else throws coins across the Potomac? Somebody who's stoned. Hey, let's hit Indians, man. Nixon went to China. Good. Right? You know why he's there? The Chinese are giving him an award for screwing up our country. Yeah, you do very good, Richard. Here's $1 million. I thought I saw him on the plane. I came back from New York, and for a minute I just freaked. I said, oh, no, not on this plane, you know. Like, once I flew with Pat Boone, I knew we weren't going to crash. You fly with Pat Boone, you stay up forever, you know. You don't have to land. They just drop you out and you float to the airport. Because usually I'm afraid to fly because the pilots get me crazy. I wish they wouldn't talk at all, you know, but they wake you up. They would say things like, ladies and gentlemen, we're hitting a little air turbulence. There's no need for alarm. Please keep your seatbelts fastened. Thank you. Except when I'm on the plane, it's always, oh, my God, we've had it. Then I love their little sightseeing tips, right? Like, ladies and gentlemen, if you look above the plane, you can now see the Grand Canyon. And there was all that talk about planes flying within 10 feet of each other. One passed us. It was so close, I saw a little kid in the window going, eh. They stopped. They asked us for ice, you know. Planes are bad. And those earphones, those stereo phones you pay $250 for, how come only one side works and they try and meet in the center of your head? Right? Hate to go to the bathroom on the plane, too, because everybody knows where you're going. You take a magazine, they know what you're going to do, you know. You can't lie. You know, where are you going? Look out the window. There's no window in the bathroom of planes, which is insane. Who's going to look at you? Perverted seagull? Hi, ha, ha. And now they have that camera with the TV so you can watch what the pilot's doing, right? It's very official. It's always, okay, we'll land in 8 minutes, give me full flaps, you know. It's a video cassette. It's a film. That's not really them. They're in there going, you land. Thank you.
We got to do this first. We'll be right back. Want to ask you about something I've been hearing about. You can confirm or deny.
Oh, yes.
Or whatever. We are back, and we're talking with Freddie Prinze and Joey Bishop, and we have Betty Derrick and Ray Johnson with us. Has this publicly been made known that you're going to become a father soon?
I'm not sure, but yeah, any day now.
What do you mean you're not sure?
Well, I'm sure that she's going to have the baby, yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure it's mine, too.
Of course.
But,
well, congratulations.
Thank you. Any day.
Any day?
They said March 10th, but I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
no. I met your wife. She's a very lovely girl.
Thank you.
And you're just 22.
Yeah,
that's a big
the thing about it-
responsibility, you know, to take on.
Well, yeah, you know, what people were telling me about, though, was, said you got married young,
Right.
but that, say, the baby's due any day, but we married 6 months ago. For all you gossipy little month counters. And, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know.
Well, you're married.
For me, it's great. You know, Puerto Rican usually have 40 kids in 3 months, you know. We got to get back our island. We need manpower, for God's sake. No,
So this is... Are you excited about it?
oh, yeah, I'm like a basket case, you know, like, she said, well, you have to pack a bag for when I go to the hospital.
Absolutely.
You know, and I packed my own bag.
No, you're supposed to pack her
I
bag.
know, I realized I had to pack her bag, you know, and then she gets me nervous because I have to do the breathing exercises with her.
Was she going to have a natural
Yeah.
childbirth?
Yeah, and I'm there for it.
You
know.
are in the delivery room.
In the room when the stork comes in. And you have to breathe with your wife, and like, the
It's
panning.
to help her relax,
Yeah.
right?
The dog was staring at us when we were doing it. It was like... Next thing you know, they'll be at the bowl with the food. Oh, God. But it's great, you know, because, like, I I was, we planned to get married last year.
Right.
And,
You come from a large family?
no, I just have a brother and a sister.
Just me.
And they're both in Puerto Rico. They're married.
That's good.
Not to each other, but they're married.
Well,
People think we're kinky, but not that good. But,
I read someplace last week where it says people who become parents now, what it costs to raise a child to the age 18. Do you have any idea?
no.
About $100,000.
Maybe it's not too late to get an abortion.
Oh, no, don't say that. No.
Oh, I'm only kidding, America. I wouldn't do a thing like that.
$100,000. Does that frighten you at all?
Well, what you do is wait till he's 17 and get rid of him.
Save all that last year's
All that
expenses.
last year's money. No, I don't care. Because I've been saving my money.
You have?
Yeah, all I bought was my house, my parents' house, some land, and a car. Because I'm a speed maniac.
Yeah.
With the cars. Motorcycles, anything. The cops, they know me because I always chase them. That's how fast the car is.
You had any major fights yet since you've been married?
Yeah, we had one biggie.
I mean, where it's time to say, get out, and I'm going to stay over and don't call me and all that?
And don't ever call again. That's what it was. It was, late at night, I watch a lot of the old movies in my house. Like Marx Brothers and Fields and everything. And when you're a newlywed, they think you're bored if the third month you're in the room with a film till 3 in the morning. I said, what's he watching? She thought it was a porno flick or something. She comes in and she said, what do you want? I said, the Marx Brothers. She goes, okay, great, you're leaving me for Groucho. And she started saying that I was sick. That no one stays up till 3 in the morning watching old movies. I watch videotapes of myself.
Right.
Because I say, yep, made a mistake there, lose that, to get better, to learn comedy. And so she got crazy. We had a big fight. But now everything's smoothed over.
It takes a lot of tolerance in marriage. I'm giving him advice. I'm the one to give advice. It's like asking the captain of the Hindenburg, you think you can bring it in all right? You betcha. I'll tie up right over there. No, but
You know what worried me
those
was...
of us who have had some problems sometimes are in a position to...
Well, the alimony is what scares everybody. When I got married,
Excuse me.
See, I got married in Vegas, and I called up my friend Nat in New York, this black dude, and I said, Nat, I'm in Vegas and I'm getting married. He said, if you're going to gamble, why don't you play blackjack? Because, that alimony, I thought about that. And people said, well, you can have your wife sign a paper beforehand. Right, and then you know how they hold that in your face,
No, that's no way to start.
You never loved me. You made me sign a contract.
That's right.
And I know from contracts, believe me.
Anyway, I hope the baby comes on time, as well and healthy, and it'll make a difference in your life.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it because I love kids and animals and things like that. So, well, that got a laugh. I'm right with the pencil.
Well, it's great.
Thank
Happy
you.
for We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Betty Garrett's with us and Ray Johnson.